Howdy folks, Disturbed here. A different game for everyone today. This is Ship Simulator Extremes, which is completely different to Battle Pirates, as you'll see shortly. This game I've played a little bit in the past. It's quite slow. It's a simulator of, clearly from the name, of driving real boats. So let's get into it. I've done the first one. I think it's going to let me go on to the second one. I'm assuming that's what the star means. But I've completed it. So we're going to go on to the next one. These are the core missions in the game. It seems to be, from what I have played it before, as I said, from what I remember, it's driving a tugboat around and helping ships out. It's kind of fun. Like I said, it's quite a slow game. Once I get the mission loaded up, I'll stick some music on as well in the background. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. I'm going to play this for a while and then I'm going to switch over to my usual game, Battle Pirates, as there is an event going on. And I would like to get some more points in that. Stick some music on. Not done a great deal of experimentation with this setup yet, so hopefully it works. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It's a very slow game to load, I'm afraid. I did start it loading before I went on the air. Okay, so here we are. So as you can see, we're in a tugboat. Throttle controls down here. The controls are a bit awkward. I should probably do some googling. You notice when you push the throttle forwards, it jumps straight back, which is annoying. You can control it with the mouse as well, which I'll show you in a second. So we've got to go and tow something in. Over here we have the radar, and the ship's not even on the radar yet. So let's get underway. So I'm going to do this with the mouse because I want them to stay forwards. So we'll jam both throttles forwards. Tug's a little bit weird as it has kind of thrusters almost, rather than a traditional propeller and rudder. I'm just going to get underway and then we'll go through some of the stuff on the screen. So down here we've got the two throttle controls. You can see when you turn the rudder up, they rotate slightly and you can see there's a readout down here of the angle we're at, and also the engine speed for each engine. Over here in the top right we've got the moving map display, and we can switch that to a radar display, which looks a bit like that. I generally play with the map on, unless I generally play with the map on, no unless. Okay, so down here we've got a compass display, which has got our heading, a bearing to our waypoint, and then directional arrows for velocity and rotation rate. And down here we've got a typical compass display. We can change the compass display to be north, up, or heading up. We can switch waypoints on and off, and we can remove all the useful information. And then we've got course over ground and speed over the ground down here, and distance to waypoint and course to waypoint. So we've got a bit of a run to do to get out to this guy. You can spin the view around. I've got the graphics up on high. It's quite an old game, but I think it's quite pretty. The background's fairly bland obviously, but it's about the ships. It's a little bit of a buggy game, things occasionally go a bit wrong. So I've got light controls here, camera controls, I'll show you those in a minute, and then connection controls, so for mooring up, for towing, which we'll be doing shortly, pushing I've never really used, and we can drop anchor, which we're not going to do now because we're going full speed. We're still heading in the right direction. So one of the cool things you can do is you can go for a little wander around your ship. Oh, nice to be able to shut the throttles off, so let's go back to the main camera. Yep. The walking around the ship is a little bit better on one of the bigger ships. So yeah, this is a bit about the game. And now on the map you can see there are some ships in here. I've got a feeling from memory that the ship we're going to get, we've got to try and dock in this gap here. Sometimes with the last mission I did, the very first mission, the ship that I was towing had both ships had their engines disabled, so you could only use the tug. If the ship's active, you can switch between ships and you can use the ship's engines to help out as well, which is cool. So you end up having to start managing lots of things, and that's kind of what the game is about. I've got my laptop open here. And just having a quick look to see if I can work out how to stick the throttles, because it would be quite nice if I could, better than having to use the mouse to do it. Use the shift key. That's cool. Cool. I've got a laptop next to me. You haven't seen me stream stuff before. We've got water cannons, which is cool. We got a ship's horn. Yeah. I'm going to keep that open next to me. That's quite handy. Seeing as we have nobody watching at the moment, I'm guessing if anyone sees this bit there on my YouTube page. So everything gets uploaded to YouTube, and you can watch back at your leisure, although I'm guessing this will be quite a slow game to sit and watch on YouTube. In the true traditions of the modern world, I also have my laptop open next to me, and I'm actually doing a little bit of Battle Pirates at the same time. Finishing off my alliance points before they reset, because I've been a slacker this week. So, another thing we can do is we can make this map full screen. We can have waypoints as well, that's quite cool. And that's where we're headed. .7 of a mile to go. I'm hoping we don't have to tow this thing all the way back, because it's going to be quite slow doing that. Yeah, I liked the game when I played it before. I'm hoping they've removed some of the bugs from it before. There were issues with mission completion and things like that. graphics are, not the latest cutting edge stuff, but it's bad gameplay. Not generally an issue with what I've played so far, but we've got water depth on the chart over here as well. We can put a pretty camera out. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I tend to control the game in this mode, or in this view, sorry. Half a mile to go. And the other view, we've got this view as well. We get radar chatter when we're in here, radio chatter, sorry, when we're in here. Can't quite see it yet. Yeah. That's this game. Can take a while to get through a mission in this. I tend to do them in chunks, to be honest, and particularly as I've got BP waiting to be played, that may be what happens. In fact, I'm just gonna, while I'm motoring in still, I've got a third of a mile to go, I'm actually going to do a quick campaign on here. Looks like we're loading the next part of the mission up. There we go. We are now out in the open ocean randomly, and we have a fuel tanker to go rescue. Give it a bit of throttle. I'm liking the shift key. I'm liking the shift key. I'm wondering if it's engine specific, which I'll test in a minute. Sorry guys, I am in the middle of doing something on my laptop. I didn't expect it to transition quite so quickly. I don't think anyone's actually watching my stream, so it doesn't really matter that I'm multitasking. Those of you that are wondering about the music, it's royalty-free music, so that I don't get the audio stripped out. Give it some throttle. She's a big ship. She's a big ship that we're going to have to tow in. Hoping she's got her own engines. Wow, it's fairly deep out here. fairly deep. I don't think my anchors will reach. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, that sticky throttle works on the individual engines. Oh, so we're dropping off a pilot. That's not too bad. So we've got a moor up next to her. Why they didn't use a pilot cutter to send out a pilot, I don't know. Seeing as they're significantly quicker. Oh well. It's just closed up for now. We'll talk through that in a minute. So to moor up, we click on the moor icon, we select a point on our ship, and we select a point on their ship. I'm guessing we need to do two. So we're going a bit fast at the moment, it seems. One of the things I don't like about the tug, the mooring rope should get us there actually, is that to reverse you have to spin the thrusters around completely, which is kind of annoying. I'm going to drop that line and reattach it. There we go. So we've got the 10-second countdown there to complete this objective. And now we have to tow it to port. Okay, so let's drop these lines. Let's get ourselves away from the ship a little bit. I'm being a little bit lazy in just using max thrust on the right engine to give us the quick right turn. We'll head out in front a little bit and attach. I'm going to try and line myself up properly and attach two towing lines in a kind of X formation. Found if you just attach the one, things can get a bit unstable. Oh, wow, she is a big ship. As I said, I really hope she's got her own engines. Spinning the thrusters around to give it a little bit of a reverse kick. There we go. How are we looking? Almost. So this is where the ability to think backwards helps. I'm using my right engine to turn myself back around. That's probably good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Right. So we select towing. We select a point on our ship. We select a point on their ship. towing again, we select the point on our ship, and we try and select the same point on the opposite side. So there we go. So that's us hooked up to the ship, and it gives a little bit of positive throttle just to keep us in place. So you can see now we've got another icon come up here. So we can swap over to the other ship. You see we've got different controls here. I think we've got a water cannon somewhere. Yep, we've got some water cannons. Always useful. We've got a single engine throttle. We've got a wheel. You can turn. And we've got two bow thrusters. So I've got a bow thruster and a stern thruster. So that should do one of them. Yep. And then so I'm just checking the controls, and that does the other one. So one should be forward, one should be rear. Okay. Let's put our waypoint on so see where we're headed to. I'm going to give. We not have engines. I don't seem to have engines. This is a little trick that I learned. These big ships have control points out on the flying bridges, and sometimes on these, so you can switch the engine on. So now hopefully we have some positive thrust coming from that ship. We'll stick our throttles up to max on that, because we really want to try and get underway here. No, we don't have max. Come on, max throttle. There we go, max throttle. I'm going to give that max engines as well. Hope that works. As you can see, I'm roughly headed towards the waypoint, but obviously this big ass ship that's behind us is not. So we'll try and get it moving. We've got a couple of knots of forward momentum now, and basically this poor little tug is pulling for its life. Right, 3 knots. This thing's got a little bit of speed on it now. Let's turn the rudder slightly on that to help us round the corner. You have to be careful with the tug not to overdo the steering. You need to keep an eye on the degrees symbols down the bottom here to see how far you're turning. Try and get myself pointed back in the right direction. Basically we're trying to drag this big ass ship. Why it needed a pilot dropped off and it's got no freaking engines, I don't know. And try and get myself out in front of it again a bit. It's got some way on it. It's got some way on it. It's good. It looks like its engines are working, which is good. These big things are horrendously slow to respond. So I've taken the rudder off already. See the little tug in the front is scrambling its heart out to help us get round the corner. I'm going to leave that jammed over. Get back to this guy. So this is where occasionally you have to drop your toe and get back round in front of it. Which is what we'll do this time. What I'm trying to do is attach myself to this guy so that we can both make it through the kind of jump you do to get there we go. So we're going back through into the port now. Mute my mic. So we've got a long way to go. So I'm using the thrusters to bring the ship around to face down the channel. I'm guessing we draw a lot of water. I've got 6 meters under the keel at the moment. I'll point those out in a second. Just let me try and get myself pointed in the right direction. That's quite cool. You can control the rudder and the thrusters from this view. You just can't control the engines. So hopefully our little tugboat's not sinking by the side there, because we're going quite slowly. Okay, let me just check on the tug. Tug's fine. Tug might as well help. So as I was saying about the depth, we've got a depth sounder up here, so that tells us how much water we've got underneath the boat, compared to the 13 meters we've got on the map. So the tug seems to actually be moving us sideways, so we'll knock their throttles off and we'll let the big ship do the work. Excuse me. We'll let the big ship do the work. At least for getting us down the channel towards where we've got a dock. She is a slow ship to turn. I'm conscious that we're getting into quite shallow water as we're at the edge of the channel. So yeah, can I drag this map around? No, can't. I'm pretty sure we've got a dock in this gap here. I'm pretty sure. And the tight manoeuvring to get in there is going to be where having the tug really helps. So you can see these readouts all go a bit nuts when you switch ships, so just put a bit of throttle on to take some drag off that line. And it looks like the entrance up there is where we're headed for. Something else you can do with some of the ships, you've got ships that you can deploy So here we've got 2 lifeboats we can drop off. Let's do that, I'm bored. These guys can be quite good fun. And you can, if we can catch back up, you can put them back up on the ship. You have to get close, obviously, which we don't seem to be doing, because we can only do 6 knots. I wonder if it's close enough. Yep, so you can pull it back up like that. So let's just check. Our throttle has gone to neutral. So there are some annoying bugs in this game, things like that. Yeah, 0.8 of a mile now from our destination. And then we have to try and dock this thing. And that's where the tug comes in. As I said, we've got our thrusters which are going to help us. But really the big thing is going to be the tug. With a combination of pushing, pulling and nudging this thing, we'll get it in so that it's docked. Got 11 knots of forward way on, being pulled slightly to the side by the tug. I'm actually just going to give it a little bit of side thruster just to try and counteract that. It's kind of being lazy. I could steer the ship, but it's a game that's supposed to be fun. The thing we need to do is chop the throttle. This thing is gonna maneuver like the proverbial barge. So I'm gonna knock off that back one, give us a big wedge of throttle, try and get out in front and connect up a proper towing line now. The tug can do about 12 knots. We're doing about 12 knots. We're also heading straight at the dock side there, which is possibly not the best thing. Possibly not the best thing. Turn, tuggy, turn. And from what's it, the tug doesn't draw much water, so we're not likely to run that aground. Not so much the this big tanker, a couple of meters of water underneath the bow. So we've made it past there. The tug is starting to pull out in front a little. I'm going to turn the other way. I'm going to wedge the wheel over. Slightly annoying feature, you can't attach a towing line with throttles open. drop that one. Because we need to make this big bugger turn. It's all going a bit wrong. Actually, this is going to help us turn. Look on the bright side of things, this is going to help us turn. And try and get myself unlocked from the side of this thing. So we'll go full stern on the tug. I don't know how fast the tug will go in reverse. One thing you don't have to worry about that you would in reality is fouling your props. Don't sink me, big ship, don't sink me. I'm trying to help you. Very bad job, but I'm trying to help him. Hey, we're free. I'm free! So we have maximum thruster that way. We'll put the aft thruster the other way. This will hopefully have the effect of spinning us round. Whilst the tug is also trying to turn us. As I say, from memory, because I have done this mission before, we're trying to get into that rather tight little space. And again, I'm going to end up getting wedged. Pull, little tugboat, pull! Pull for all you're worth. How much forward speed has this thing got? We're still doing 3 knots forwards. You need some reverse throttle. Big time. Because we're going to end up crashing. Because I don't think we have much room around the bow. Put in 2 knots forwards. the back end is coming around nicely. It's going to be ever so close. It's going to be ever so close. She is coming round. She is coming round. You know, I think we've got away with it. I think we've got away with it. Just chop the throttle off again. This is where things get a little bit frantic. We'll leave it turning hard. We've got the tug, which is effectively pulling us backwards. Let's try and get the tugboat back out in front, pointed at where we want to go. Because everything's so slow, we can now generate a bit of slack on the tow lines. You can control these thrusters individually for their rotation as well, but so far I've only found the mouse to do that with. And we're just bringing that around nicely. Just bringing that big old girl around nicely. Now we'll put a little bit of constant throttle on. Going to nudge the left-hand engine forwards a little bit more. Beautiful sunset. Beautiful sunset. Yeah, she's coming around slowly. She's coming around slowly. Yeah. Trick of going out to the controls on the flying wing bridges, wherever they are. Right, pick it up, there we go. I don't want full throttle. I just want a little bit of positive throttle on this one. I think we can take off the two thrusters because it will hold its rotational momentum for quite a while. Let's just ease forwards on the starboard engine, I think it is. yeah, so we have got a dock in the gap. And you know what? I'm getting bored, folks. I'm really getting bored. I'm going to bin this game off for now. You can save where you are, which is really cool. Let's just see if we can find something a little bit quicker to play with. And then I'm going to go and play Battle Pirates for a bit. This is really does everything quite slowly, this game. There is a free roaming mode. There's a tutorial mission. No. Campaign. Greenpeace, meh. Pilot. Let's try that. I've not tried this before, so we'll see how it goes. I think this is DLC that came free with the game. I think. While this is loading, I am going to take a quick comfort break. Be right back. Okay, this looks like it might be a bit more fun to drive. I'm not sure what this control does. So I'm just checking my messages on my phone. And I need to check something for work as well. I'm actually on leave today, but was supposed to have a meeting tomorrow, which I think has been moved, but I just want to double check. Hi Jordan, welcome along. Having a little bit of a break at the moment while I just load up my work computer to check something out. Alright, that's what we've got to do. A couple of miles away, right? We've got conventional throttles this time, which is much nicer. Getting out seems to be a challenge for me. Right, rudder hard over. That's more like it. That's much more like it. So we've got a couple of miles to go. Actually, it's probably not going to take too long at this sort of speed. It's 28 knots. Guessing this guy doesn't have any boats to drop now. Looks quite cool though. Looks quite cool. What's the view like from the helm position? Hey. No, we don't have a type of boat you could view from behind as well with that view. Hey. Yeah. Gonna be one of those two big lumps of metal floating up there. Which one do we think it is? Looks like it's the left hand one. $115 long. Wow, that's a big ass ship. Oh, cool. Laptop's connected. Check this meeting I'm supposed to be at tomorrow, possibly. it's the cutter, so it's the customs navy ship, possibly. That will at least be quicker to bring into port. Let's back off the throttles a bit. Long transfer time on this one. Guessing now we're going to one of these big guys over here somewhere. I appreciate it. over. There we go. Right, I'm back. Sorry. Work. We've gone past, almost past where we need to get to. Yeah. So it's this big old girl that needs a pilot. The shift key works for the rudder as well. That's cool. Backing off on the throttles. That's weird. As we go inside the cruise ship. That's a big old girl. That's a big old girl. Do the same thing again. I think it's time we go past it and then spin around alongside. It's very, very different about Pirates. Do this, do a short Battle Pirate stream, and then as it's my day off I've got chores to do, obviously. It's getting nice and close. This is what I was worried I'd end up with. Having to sail this big ass ship into port. Which right now I can't be bothered with, I'm afraid, so I'm going to save it here. And I'm going to cut this stream off. So if anyone has watched this had one person watch on Twitch. You're not here anymore, but if you were, my link to my YouTube channel is at the bottom of my Twitch feed. And if you're watching on YouTube, twitch.tv/disturbed. Also have my Twitter at dis_turbed1 and Facebook dis.turbed.509. Thanks for watching, guys. I will be back up shortly with a quick Battle Pirate stream.